Thanks for staying with Sunrise. Now, our next guest is a young lady who takes joy in farming within the beautiful and fertile fields of St. Elizabeth in the Woodlands district. She has grown potatoes, pears, carrots, sweet peppers, and so much more. But unfortunately, just a week ago, some of her most recent harvest was stolen by thieves. And she's here today to tell us more about her story. She's none other than Shirka Braham, famously known as Farmer Girl Jessie. Good morning, Farmer Girl Jessie.
Good morning to you.
How are you?
I'm doing great this morning.
Great. I'm really happy to know that you are a woman who is a farmer full-time and you're doing it right. At what point did you decide that you're going to do farming as an occupation?
After 16 years, I realized that I dropped out of school and all of that. So to choose a positive path and not go in the wrong way, I look around my surrounding and I found farming to be one of the most catching thing I could actually engage into, and I go right at it.
Was it easy for you at first, or you had some challenges getting into it?
It was very challenging, still challenging, because, you know, it is a full-time job for a woman. It's really challenging, but, you know, I go against the odds and even.
But is it something that you can just pick up on your own, or you had, you know, a dad, a grandpa, somebody who was showing you the ropes?
It is a generational thing for me. My family, I am from a farming background, but for me, I took it more seriously.
So, you know, oftentimes we hear people saying that I'm not putting my hand in no dirt. That is just for a special type of people. But you're a woman in farming. What kind of message do you have for individuals who have that kind of, you know, thinking or perception about the occupation or the profession?
First and foremost, I want to say pride won't pay the bills, and there are always going to be bills to be paid.
Absolutely. So talk to us a little bit about some of the crops that you know, produce on your farm there, or you plant on your farm.
I produce carrots, sweet potatoes, sweet peppers, cabbage, and etc.
What's in
Tomato
season
as well?
What's in season right now? What are you reaping now?
I should be harvesting sweet potatoes, but thieves invaded, and you know that I cannot. Follow up, I have some cabbage that I'm taking care of now. The heavy rains have been tampering it a bit, but some sunlight now and as well.
There are some challenges in your neck of the woods where sometimes it's drought and there are times when you have too much rainfall. At the end of the day, how do you manage to, you know, reap enough to take it to market?
To reap enough, you have to produce enough. You have to plant enough to, you know, reap enough. You cannot just plant something this month and say, okay, I'm going to wait until I harvest that one to actually go at it again. You have to have something in rows. You plant something this month, you follow up by the end of the month, and by the starting of next month, you'll be putting in something again. So when you're reaping continuously, and not only once and wait again another crop.
There's a constant conversation about farmers saying, boy, I mean, I plant all of this kind of crop, and now we're reaping and we don't have the market. And so how do you now supply? Who do you supply, and how often do you supply those individuals?
There is a wholesale market in my community in Newmarket, right? So we normally go there on Mondays to supply. Wholesalers go into markets like Montego Bay and Kingston. And we also have people in our community that goes to those markets, so we supply them also.
Okay.
Jesse, there's something you mentioned earlier about some thieves taking some of your sweet pepper, it was?
Or potatoes.
Or sweet potato?
Pepper and sweet potatoes, both. They do it 2 weeks in a row. First, they pick the sweet peppers, and the following week, they dug up the sweet potatoes.
So what acreage are we talking about? Like, how big are these plots? And, you know, have you reported it to the police? What has happened since?
Yes, I reported it, and a few persons reached out, and I'm actually grateful for that. You know, give me a helping hand here and there. I reported it to the police. You know, they have matters in their own hands. The acreage now I cannot say because I don't work on a flat. I work on a hilly surface mixed with stone and all of that.
Right. How badly are you affected with regards to the theft of the sweet potatoes and peppers?
Well, I know.
Jesse?
Yes.
How badly are you affected by this theft of the sweet potatoes and the peppers?
I was affected really bad because, as I stated before, I am a mom and my children are at home waiting for me to come through, and that did not happen because thieves invade all of what I have planned and worked hard for over 3 months.
Is this the first time for you, or it has been an ongoing situation?
No, it's the first time experiencing it.
Oh, wow.
Well, we do hope that members in the community can provide some information with regard to this and help the police, and for her to really see some movements there. So, Jesse, you mentioned that you're a mom of 2. How do they see mommy in the farmer role? Are they out there in the fields with you? Are they excited when they see the harvest?
Yes, the bigger one, he likes to come, but you know, it's all trouble and stuff. He runs up and down in my farm and all of that. It's fun to him, but for me, it's danger.
Is there any particular crop he likes or has an affinity towards?
Yes, like crops like cucumbers that can be eaten right away, tomatoes, those stuff he likes a lot because he can just pick them off the tree, wash them and eat them right away.
Yeah.
Carrots.
Given the pandemic, COVID-19, how have you been faring? How have you been coping? That's the word I want to use, coping with the pandemic. And
At first, it was really stressing. Hearing it on the news everywhere, it gets to me like I almost had a breakdown over it. But I use my farm to motivate me. I stayed at my farm, and you know, I feel safe and happy when I go to the farm in the morning. I realize that my farm, you know, is flourishing. So that was my rescue. My farm was my rescue from COVID-19.
Was there a point where you had excess and didn't have the market for the produce?
No.
Okay, so everything has been going good.
Since COVID-19, there have been a high demand of food, and producing food in that field, you're going to feel secured in that field.
Yes. How are you working with RADA and the Ministry of Agriculture, if at all, to get your produce to market?
I have not reached to that part as yet because, as I said, we have market now, and we only call on them when we don't have any market.
Right.
So far now, we have market.
In terms of being a farmer, Jesse, so, you know, you say you're from a family that farms and you were integrated into it. Would you become anything else, or do you ever see yourself stopping farming?
At this time, no. I wanted to be a nurse, but since I've engaged into farming and I've reached this far, I would say no.
So what's next? Is it that you're going to set up a factory and do some, you know, value added?
Yes, I'm going to expand my farm, maybe a greenhouse or so, but I know I'm going to expand because farming is a passion for me. I love it and I put my all into it. And if you love something and that's where you belong, I guess you should just do it at your best.
You also have a YouTube page. Tell us a little bit about that and the content you're showcasing for viewers.
My contents are positive, they are enlightening, they are motivational, and yes. So I'm all for the people. Most young persons who think that, you know, there are no alternatives. There are always alternatives, positive alternatives.
Are you going to be?
So I just want to share.
Tips?
I just want to share positivity across.
Are you going to be sharing some tips on how to grow little backyard gardens as well?
Yes, I am definitely going to do that. And I also have a video preparing, you know, to encourage young people and show them that, you know, they don't have to watch what society thinks of them. Once they're doing something positive, you know, it is okay. Because society tends to tell people that is not okay. It is too small for you to be doing.
Yeah.
But once it is helping you out and it is positive, it is not too small.
True.
That's true.
How did you get the name Farmer Girl Jessie?
I created it for myself. I liked it, and I like the name Jessie. So I just add farmer to it. It's catchy, yes, and people like it.
That's
as
good.
I do.
I see a product with that name on it.
You never know.
Yes.
Yes, Farmer Girl Jessie.
Oh my God.
In terms of your friends,
Wow.
when they see all this fame that you have amassed being Farmer Girl Jessie, what do some of them say?
You know, to be honest, I was in the town and people were like rooting for me. Like, I didn't even know that I was out there this much. I didn't know that I was so popular because I was in the town. Few days ago, and persons were stopping me. Are you Farmer Girl Jessie? Are you the farmer? I'm all the way from Kingston, and I saw you, and I felt good. I felt great, you know, to be doing something positive and people actually catch on to it, because these days negativity is winning, and for me to put out something positive and people is actually gravitating to it, I feel great.
That's lovely.
How can people reach out to you on social media? What's your handle?
On Instagram, it's Farmer Girl Jessie. YouTube, Farmer Girl Jessie. On Facebook, it's Jessie May. And I also have a Farmer Girl Jessie on Facebook.
All right. Well, thank you so much, and we wish you all the best. Even though we continue to experience the heavy rains, and I hope that nobody else will go to your farm and take your produce and you know, and leave you to wonder how it is that you're going to make ends meet. Thank you so much for sharing your story, and all the best.
Yes, thanks a lot for having me.
You're very welcome.